Hey guys, Corey back here with Iconic Speed and Design, and I got most of the Pullmax stuff machined. The only thing now, I did build one other tool, which is a basically a tipping die. Made this adjustable, so I can do different offsets and stuff like that. So that's one set of tools I've made. This is the universal set. I haven't made any tools, but I got this all machined. I've got the screw on this back side, which I'll show you here in a minute. It's tapered. As I turn it in, I can adjust this thing out. It will go in a little bit past center, which is what I want for thumbnail shrinking dies. As I tighten that on this fine thread 5/8 bolt, I can incrementally shift this thing for an offset. This is my lockdown. What I ended up doing is taking a 3/4 inch mill, and I milled like an oval slot in it, and then I machined a piece of brass that sits inside there. Not like a washer, but kind of like a washer. This has a little tip on it, so it self-centers. So this bolt does not mar up the lower tool. I could always machine more brass inserts, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. You guys can kind of see it, and I'll walk around with it, but the only thing left is to get my leveling feet and then build the tooling. This piece is all welded, and it has bolts in it. I did that for centering, so I can get everything right. And then inside this 1-inch plate, there's a 1/2-inch key stock that basically sets on, and I have 4 of these countersunk bolts. So it's basically all bolted in. Like I said, if I ever wanted to build a new frame, I just take this head off, and I just have to fab a new motor mount. I don't know in the last video if I did, but this is my new fence. I had one, it was really flimsy. I'll show you that as I come over here. I actually had this piece off of my shear that I don't use, and I cut the bar. It slides on this rail. I have a measuring system. This is the flat fence. You take these 2 screws out, flip it around, slide it in, put the bolts back in, and then you can do an inner radius. This has bearings in it on this particular piece, but it's pretty plain and simple. I mean, you can move it wherever. I have a line in here where if I want to do a 5-inch offset, according to this measurement, it'll be 5 inches from center, and I could actually do a 5-inch offset. So I'll put this back here, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. So this here is roughly in the 1/4 inch stroke. You'll hear some squeaking. That's because I just have all thread bolts in here. This is my hardest stroke. I don't have it turned up. It will get noisier if I turn it up louder. That's on the potentiometer, so I can adjust the speed. This here is about 125 thousandths hit, and then this here is about anywhere between 60 to 70 thousandths. There are some small things that I need to do. Like I said, the leveling feet. I got to build tooling, which I'm going to use out of the Trex board that you use for decking. You can get it at Lowe's or Home Depot. What I've researched, it is 82 thousandths thick, and I machine these to 3/4. But the plastic is easy to cut, but it's durable enough to do the steel and aluminum. I think to me, that's going to be easier. Time is money. I am going to build another set of these with a 1/2-inch inset, and I will place 1/2-inch steel in there if I have to make any universal steel ones, and then I will build other ones down the road. But I got all this machined. It's all up and running. I know some of you guys had some questions. My biggest deal was trying to get this machined, because recently, since I've got a mill, I don't have a vise. So when I machine this, I had to clamp it in every direction to mill this, to mill that. I think it's a 21-degree angle. And then this bolt, as I tighten it, it just lays up in there. So the further I screw this in, the further it'll start pushing this out. But I got all my dowel pins in. These are centered and locked in. Totally true. And I'll show you kind of around the machine, and hope you guys like it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. It's based off a real Pullmax. The adjustments might be different. I can always machine more if I have to. But go ahead and like this video, share it. If you're not a subscriber, I'd appreciate your subscribe. That kind of helps me see what the audience is, so I can produce more videos similar to this if you guys are interested. This has just become hard for me with what I've been going through and stuff like that to run the business, run the shop, and build this. So I'm going to walk around and you guys can kind of check it out. So there's the bolt. That's the lockdown bolt. And I cut a groove in it at first so you could slide it out. But the problem was it could eventually just force its way out. So that's why I machined another groove within this groove and put in that brass little, it's like a round, and it's locked in there, and then this has a point on it. So it would have to shear that. And then this is the tapered bolt. And I'll see if I can pull it out. Yeah. I gotta machine another one. It's not long enough because I've got to put thin jam nuts on these once I get them set so they don't move. But there's the tool holders I made. So there's the bolt. And what happens is that angle rides on an angle that's machined in this lower, and as it goes in, it just kind of forces that thing back. And then what I'll do is I could have that non-adjusted, and if I loosen that other piece over here, the lock bolt, it'll go all the way to the face of this. But you can see that these are welded. This is all 1 inch plate, 1 inch, and then I could adjust it accordingly. But hope you guys like this video. I do got to get my leveling feet. As you can see, I just have all thread, and I'm using a 3-inch machine pad. And then I may not use the bolts. I may just jack it up, get it level, and use some chromoly tubing, make a thing to where it can go on there. And then I just use a jack to jack it up, pull my pins on my feet, spin them, roll it where I need it, and jack it back up. And then I was also thinking, I think I need more weight. So what I might do is I may make a hanger in the back and try to find some old tractor weights that I could hang on the back for weight. But hope you guys like this. I mean, this is my version of a Pullmax. It definitely has a small footprint. As you can see, I'll back up. There's my bead roller, and it doesn't really stick further or any, it's just a little bit bulkier. But the footprint is small, and that's what I wanted. And I wanted to be able to be mobile, to where I don't have to move something like the power hammer or a mill if I wanted to rearrange the shop. This is my measuring system, as you can see it. This has a mill groove in it. That's a knurled knob, and then this is the internal for inner radius. And then you just remove these bolts and put this on the back side, and then thread through this into this, and then that will go on this side. So like I said, if you guys like this video and you guys like to see more videos, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Appreciate you.